Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys. I'm Christian Ocampo, and today we are in the Dubbing Brothers studio in Burbank, California, and today I'm joined by Ezra Weisz. How you doing, Ezra?
I'm doing great. Christian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me over here again today.
It's my pleasure.
All right. So we got some questions for you.
All right.
First of all, what's it like working in the industry today?
Um, the industry is it's a tricky one to be a part of because sometimes it gets very busy, and then sometimes it doesn't get very busy. And of course, that depends on the individual. Of course, like what projects they're chosen to be working on, and when perhaps they're not, getting the information about a new project for a casting notification, or if they don't get cast in something. But over the past several months, things have been really good, not only as a voiceover actor, but also as a voiceover director. I've been working on some other projects as a director. So it's been pretty rewarding to stay somewhat stable working in the industry. And even in terms of directing, it's only for a few weeks at a time, and then there's a few weeks of a break, and then you get more episodes. And so, even there's like a lot of work and then absolutely no work. So it's a tricky business to be working in, but right now there seems to be a lot of really good projects and titles to be working on. So I think it's a really good time to be in the industry right now.
Nice. All right. So, do you have any favorite show you have worked on?
I would have to say one of my favorite shows that I've worked on, pardon me, would be Vampire Knight, where I played Kaname Kuran. Vampire Knight was a lead role, or one of the lead roles, and it was nice to be able to sustain a character for the arc of the series, and also to work on something as an actor in a juicier role instead of a smaller supporting character or a guest part that comes in. I never really got to have this big, disgusting, blood-curdling death that usually happens for me when I get cast in some other series. But there have been a few series in the past, some of which I think you're going to ask me about. But Vampire Knight is within the past few years. It's one that I hold near and dear when I go to conventions. It's really wonderful to see Vampire Knight cosplays. I love to see it when there's a Yuki or there's Zero, or we get to see a Kaname Kuran in the white outfit. It's always a very sharp-looking cosplay. So yeah, it gives me great pride, and I feel very honored to have been a part of that role.
Okay, nice. So, what was it like working on Gankutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo?
I love it. I love that you say it, and I also loved working on that one. I played Albert, right? Is that right?
Franz.
You're right. I played Franz. That's right, and I spoke to Albert a lot. That's why, because I said Albert more than I heard Franz. And not many people know that series, and I absolutely love it. I thought it was historical and mixed with fantasy, mixed with literature, mixed with great artistic vision. It's a smaller series again. It was also recorded at Bang Zoom, which I'm always honored to be working with a Bang Zoom Entertainment production. And I really loved that particular series. In fact, I don't buy many of the DVD volumes, but when I saw Gankutsuo, The Count of Monte Cristo, I'm like, I have to buy this and keep it in my own personal library because I felt so passionate about it. And I also thought it was so beautifully envisioned. So that one is kind of like a guilty pleasure, Like, not many people see it, and whenever I mention it on panels, people are like, oh, politely clap, but they don't know it. And I think that if they do know it, if they watch it, they would enjoy it. Have you seen it?
I have.
Well, what do you like about that particular series?
I think it's like more of the European style they had. I think it's French.
Yeah.
By Alexander Dumas.
Yeah.
So it's just like the artistic style, like the painting that the Japanese kind of installed.
Yeah.
But I think the story-wise is kind of good. You know, it's always those European tragedies.
Yeah, I think it was. I think the voiceover actor, very talented Lex Lang, was playing Albert.
No,
Is that? Or he was the Count.
no, it was Jameson Price who played the Count. And
Okay.
then John Young Bosch played Albert.
Oh, is that right? Okay. But wasn't Lex in there as well?
I'm trying to think if he was. Maybe. He might have been one of the henchmen, perhaps.
No, all right. Then I'm mistaking it for something else. But I will say this: Jameson Price. Did you ever interview him?
No, he's hard to find.
God. Jameson Price, his voice is so delicious and evil and deep and powerful. Whenever I have an opportunity that I'm working on a project, I'm always sending him audition notices for any of the bad guys, any of the big power voices, because he's got such incredible command and power with his voice. All right, anyway, next question.
All right. What was it like working on Wizards of Waverly Place?
What? That has nothing to do with anime whatsoever. It's a great question, Wizards of Waverly Place. I've worked on Wizards of Waverly Place in a couple levels. One, as an actor, right? And two, I do audience warm-up for television shows. So if you would come to see a taping of Wizards of Waverly Place, or really any of the shows, there's usually a comedian in the audience, and there to keep the audience entertained so that when it's time to film the show, the audience laughs at the story, right? And all the acting and the jokes that are there and the situation. And if they film the show and the actor and the audience doesn't laugh, that's not a good sign. And fortunately, Wizards was a very funny show on the Disney Channel, and just had an incredible showrunner by the name of Peter Murrieta, who always made sure the scripts were very, very funny and the stories were always, breaking new ground and sort of pushing the Disney Channel. So it was easy to work for Peter because the scripts were already funny, and Selena Gomez was in the show, and all the kids and David Henry and the kids went crazy for those guys. So to work on that show was just so much fun, and it gave me so much energy, and I gave out so much energy to the audience. And being an actor in the show, that was incredible, to be on the set in front of the cameras, because as a voiceover actor, I'm also an onstage actor and a performer, audience warm-up. I'm an in the audience sort of stand-up host performer, and I'm also on-camera actor. So, I like to keep all levels of my career somewhat like a juggler. I want to keep all the balls going, and also as a voiceover director and voiceover actor. So, it's exciting to do anything that I do. I really love to do all of the things.
It's good.
Oh, and tell people to watch my videos, because I have behind-the-scenes videos on YouTube so that they can see what it's like, when I do shows like that. Yeah, they're fun.
Cool. All right, so if you can be any character you have played here in real life, who will you be? And you can mix and match.
Okay, well, there are a lot of characters that I have played that are not particularly nice, nor do they have, any special powers whatsoever. So it's not like, I have the ability to fly, or I can, teleport from one place to the other, or I've got this enormous tail that gives me strength. I don't have any of those characters. Usually I play a dad or a friend, right? But there was a role. There was a small series called Bottle Fairies, very small, cute anime, and I played one of the spices in Bottle Fairies, and I voiced it along with Kari Walgren, the two of us. We were the two spices, and we could fly around, and we were absolutely adorable. And I think if I could fly and be absolutely adorable all the time, I would take those characteristics into the real world, because I would want people to be like, oh my gosh, look, it's Ezra, he's so adorable. Oh, he's flying! Oh, look, he's flying! He's even more adorable. I would take those.
All right. Another question. What was it like working on Magi, the Kingdom of Magic?
Well, I'm still currently, I think, because they're still doing Magi a little bit, right? They did another season of it. So I hope I continue to keep doing Magi. But I love it. I'm being directed by Tony Oliver. Amazing, the amazing Tony Oliver. I've known and worked with Tony Oliver on many different series in the past. He's an incredible voiceover director, amazing voiceover actor. Do you know that he's also a voiceover actor?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you talked to him?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good, because he's such a sweet man and a beautiful voice and a great stage actor. I mean, he's everything. Anyway, it's great to work with Tony on Magi. It's do people correct you when you say the title of the show?
I don't think so.
Some people say Magi, some people say Magi, some people say Magi,
Oh yeah.
Magi.
That yeah.
What's the most common you've heard?
I think just Magi.
That's what I call it. But I think people are like, no, like the gift of the Magi, like the... Anyway. Yeah, that's a fun role. I had a very small role on that. It recurs, but it's, not a really big story point character. And that's another Bang Zoom project. Bang Zoom has been so good to me. I absolutely, appreciate everything and look forward to future work with them as well. But yeah, that was a great one. But you're going to ask me one more question. I know it. Let me hear.
What was it like working on Aldnoah 0?
Yes, I knew it. Thank you for that question. I'm working on now. Lex is directing that one right now, also at Bang Zoom. And I love working on Aldnoah 0. I always have to remember how to say it. Max Middleman, he told me, he's like, you want to think of it as bald and just chop the B part off. So it's Aldnoah 0. That's how I remember how to say it correctly. Because I was like, Aldnoah? No. So I play Dr. Yagarai. I love it. I get to work with Matt Mercer, the character he voices. So I always get to hear his voice, whenever I'm doing my scenes if he's already recorded. My character, the Dr. Yagarai, who's examining the effects of, I forgot the character that Matthew Mercer voices. But he's dealing with like post-traumatic stress disorder or post-traumatic stress, and they're trying to slice the disorder part off. Did you know that? Trying to get the D off of the disorder part, just that it's post-traumatic stress. Anyway, and he's also an alcoholic. But the Dr. Yagarai, at the end of a session, when we've sort of revisited some of the trauma, he always likes to offer him a drink. How awful is that? It's terrible, right? If you were an alcoholic, Christian, I was like, this was a great interview. Hey, here's a drink. Let's drink. That would be terrible.
It would. Defeats the purpose.
It defeats the purpose. That's right. I get my questions now, right? You promised I could ask you questions.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you've got an amazing accent. I couldn't help but notice it. You say that originally in the United States you come from where?
No, I don't come from anywhere, but I was born here. My parents are the ones who are from Mexico.
They're from, so the accent that you had, did you grow up speaking Spanish in the house?
Yes, I did.
Fluent?
Fluent, yes.
Yeah. And because you speak English with a very distinct accent. It's really lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But where did you grow up?
Chicago.
Chicago. And is there an anime community in Chicago that's as passionate as you are? Because I know that you're really very passionate about it.
I think it's more like scattered into like smaller groups. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just have the conventions there that, they have the anime for us, but nothing like structured altogether.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Do you want to be a voiceover artist, or do you want to be a producer or director in making anime?
If given a chance, yes. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to actually learn the basics before I can ever get my hands dirty.
The basics of which particular part?
All of it. Depends. Yeah.
The basics of all of it. So from voiceover to art direction to vocal direction to producing to distributing, everything.
Yes. I should be like beginning, novice, and then master, if there's such a thing. But like those are different levels. So I want to begin.
So you want to be like black belt. You want to make it to like ultra black belt level.
Yes.
Have you started your journey? Or your training?
No, because mostly I focus on the interviews with the Ohio guys, so that's my main focus.
Okay, great. Now, a couple other questions. Do you have a girlfriend?
I do not, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate. You're a really nice guy. Good looking guy, very professional. Should totally get matched up. So if there's anybody out there who's interested in dating Christian, he's available currently, unless you're watching this video in the future and perhaps he's with a wonderful person and they're happily together. Do you have any pets?
Yes.
What kind of pets do you have?
I got 2 dogs and a cat.
If you could be any pet in the world, any animal, because you haven't played in a voiceover, you haven't done a voiceover role yet, right? So I can't say which character would you want to be in real life. If you could be any animal, or take characteristics of a bunch of different animals and mix and match, which ones would you do?
I'd probably go for the wolf. Because I don't know.
El lobo.
Yes.
How come?
Double. I think because, I've seen a lot of wolves, like, I guess in movies, documentaries, and just something that's kind of mysterious about them, something that you draw on, like, you look at the wolf, you, like, never turn your head away, because it's just those eyes, like,
The focus.
yeah, it's just something it just memorizes you.
Mesmerizes you, yeah, for sure. All right, that's our last question. I do have to say something to the camera. Okay. I want to give the Ohio guys full permission to use my interview, but there is only one exception. You may only use my interview footage if you also include the interview that I had with the lovely Christian Ocampo, who I think is a fascinating human being, and I would like for the world to get to know him more. So, if you don't include Christian, then you can't include me. There you go. Say goodbye.
Oh, one last question.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have any Facebook, Twitter for the fans who follow you?
My goodness. Everything is on my name, which is Ezra Weisz. So if you search anything, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you'll see everything that I do. And I post lots of pictures, and I'm always and everything is public, so I'm always interested in, meeting new people and sharing. And if there's anything that you've seen that I voiced and you want to let me know about it, I certainly love it. I mean, I appreciate hearing any kind words. And, if you go on the YouTube channel that I have of the behind-the-scenes videos from, like, the Disney Channel shows, some people are really mean. They say some horrible things about me. So please be nice. But you know what? No. Be truthful. Tell me what you think. I can handle it.
Okay.
Right, Harry? Harry says yes. Okay.
All right. Well, we want to thank you again for the interview. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now we get to say our little goodbye.
Okay.
All right. So everyone, again, thank you for joining us again for another edition of the Ohio Guys. I'm Christian Ocampo.
This is Harry Mortimer Schnerd, and I'm Ezra Weisz.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.